Hi, I'm Gabby. Welcome to the Gapster channel. If you see this vintage CD player, run and buy it. This is the Cambridge Audio CD3. It's a vintage CD player from the 1990s. So you cannot find this one on the new markets. We are not pushing any new products here. The only way to find this is from someone selling it used on the market, and they're very, very hard to find. Why is this CD player so valuable and why does it sound amazing? The secret is it's got a beautiful transport and also 4 modules with TDA 1541 chips. Those modules alone are worth quite a bit. And I have one of these modules out so I can show it to you. And basically under each of this heatsink there is a TDA 1541 vintage chips. These are very well regarded chips from the 1990s. And so there's 4 of them. There's an output stage chip for each one of the modules. So you are combining not only 4 DAC chips, also 4 output stage chips as well. And that reduces the distortion. And also the TDA 1541 chip is known for its legendary sound. Besides that, it's a beautifully designed CD player. You could see how well laid out it is. And I've got some nice, really high quality capacitors, some nice electrolytic capacitors, and also film capacitors. All around it's very, very well organized. The transformer is tucked away on the side, away from the signal pass of things. So it may not win the beauty test, but this CD player rocks. So why you should run and buy one? Because they sound absolutely amazing, especially if it's in good condition. Because whenever you're buying vintage, you always take a chance of getting a bad apple. So make sure you do your homework and check to make sure it's running. But if you get lucky and get a good one, you'll be very well rewarded. If you have a really good CD player and you play a song from your CD collection on your CD player, and then you play that same song streamed, as long as there's the same version of the song, you're going to find that the version that's coming from your CD player is way better, especially if you have a really good CD player like this Cambridge CD3. And this is not the only one that's really exceptional. There's quite a few of those CD players that have some really exceptional DAC chips from the olden days, and they're really nice to listen to. So I strongly recommend you try one of these vintage CD players, because you're going to be really, really impressed. You know the saying, they don't make them like this anymore? They don't. This is a video part of my vintage series that I've promised you guys a long time ago, and it's one of them. There's quite a few more coming. I will be putting at the end of my videos some vintage system from my subscribers. If you have something unique that you like, that you can share with us, either comment in the description below about it, and if you want to go a step further, you could send me maybe a small little link to a video or a few pictures, talk a little bit about it, and I'll put it at the end of my videos for other people to share your system, and also we all get to share each other's system and get to know more about things. So there's a huge demand for the TDA 1541 chip. They're very hard to find. There's different grades of them, and they can go up to hundreds of dollars just for a single chip. So when you buy a CD player that has 4 chips inside, just those chips alone are worth a fortune. And I'm not the only one that likes those chips. If you search a little bit online, you'll find there's a huge following behind those. There's so many different DACs built around that chip. And all of them, if not most of them, do sound great. I bought this unit from Hi-Fi Vintage Audio in the Netherlands, and I dealt with Kort Bokma. He was such a nice guy, was pleasant to work with, and he was very helpful. And I felt safe sending money to a place that I don't know. He was extremely friendly. He was very helpful. I felt really safe buying something from there, because often these things are hard to find. You might find the unit somewhere in the obscure place, and it's hard to send a whole bunch of money to someone you don't know. But when you're buying something from an establishment that has some reputation, you'll feel a lot safer. And it was really great dealing with them, and I cannot recommend them more. I will put a link in the description below about the Hi-Five Vintage Audio Store. I'm not affiliated with them, so I'm not trying to sell you things from there, but I just like the service, and I thought it would be good to mention them. If you have one of these CD players or trying to buy one, when you get it, make sure that the boards inside, those 4 TDA 1541 boards, are not loose. Mine were, 2 of them were just moving, and they're only holding by solder on the bottom. That was the only thing holding them. Now this one, I took it out, so it's not that loose, but this one was loose as well, and I since tied them together with some standoff, plastic standoff. Now they become one unit. At least they're holding together and makes them a little bit stronger. It's a little weakness the way Cambridge Audio built them. They kind of genius building everything else, but they kind of didn't do well on this point here. And so basically you could see all the joints here. This has to go back in. I have to solder it properly, and I'll connect it to this. But I'm experimenting with it to try some, see if I can actually incorporate in my DAC as an option. And just looking here, and look who kind of showed up to check things out here. Nothing Rusty again. He's just checking to see what I'm doing. Even when he's outside, he keeps an eye on what's going on here. You can also, I'm planning to maybe incorporate these in my DAC as well as an option as a DAC. Maybe have like a couple different DAC options and try to compare which ones I like, because I love the sound that's coming out of the CD player. But that's another project for later. Stay tuned for my next video on this gorgeous vintage amplifier by Sherwood. I will be talking about it more in detail, so if you're interested in something like this, keep an eye on my next video. I will put a link in the corner here about a DAC that I've built. I call it the D6, but it's actually based on Ian Canada parts. Something that you can build and explore for yourself. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Give me a like if you think it's a good video. Take care, and I hope to see you again.